Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl V from DTWV, and you are here locked in at the best place to be. Hey, on a Sunday, on a fun day, any day, have it your way, honey. All right, it's been a minute since I've been back, and we have a special guest who is about to log in with us. And I'm gonna let you see who she is. If you haven't seen the promo, stick around and be sure that you stick around till the end. Here we go. We are about to invite our dearly beloved guest. Let me see. Okay, we're about to have a very beautiful, gorgeous
Hello.
person. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
I am relaxed. I just got up from a nap. I don't look so, and I'm happy. And I love your wild and free. This was like literally 2 seconds ago. I went to be like,
You look great. I don't know what you're talking about. You look good.
thank you. Thank you. I'm like, should I get my headphones or not? Nah, we're good. But yes. So happy.
Uh-oh.
Oh
I
no,
lost
what's
you
going
there.
on? What happened? Aha.
Oh, I lost you there.
Yes. I saw the same.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear your
Can you hear me
question.
now? No, I say, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, the connection just dropped for a second. I'm like, is the weather just deciding to affect our internet right now?
No.
It
Well,
is really good weather. And as we're drinking tea with V, we start off with flavor of the day. And as the guest, I would let you go first to say what's in your cup. I have mine here. It smells so good. It's
I
kind of too hot.
love your cup. Your cup has like your logo on it.
Yes, it says every day is a good day to get the goal. Drinking tea with me.
I love it. Super cute.
Thank you.
I'm having a cranberry green tea. It's my favorite.
Oh, cranberry green tea is your favorite?
Yeah.
I'll make that as a mental note. I am having it's a ginger turmeric how you say sinosopoblusum? Orange blossom? Yes.
Yeah.
Orange blossom. That is what I'm having
Hmm.
today.
That sounds
This
intense.
it is, but it's so good.
You like it? That's good.
Yeah. I like to prickle my senses.
Mhm. Well, that's nice. Turmeric is like, I love turmeric for your skin, you know, that's great for your skin. But I think there's a thing about, I've actually had this conversation a couple of days ago. There's a thing about tea. I can
Mhm.
drink tea all day. I really could because it's hot and it just goes down a little bit smoother rather than water. Water fills me up really quick, which is also great, of course.
Mm,
But there's a thing about tea. I don't know. And there's so many tastes, you know?
exactly. And
Oh,
that is what part of the show is about. Share my love about tea with you guys. With everybody. Because there are so many flavors, and it's when you go down the rabbit hole of tea, you never come back.
true that.
And
True that.
in the Netherlands, it's a really good source of having warmth on the inside.
Hmm.
I think so.
I think that's the best thing. Like, I think having a tea in the morning is a great way to start your day. Having a tea in the evening before you go to bed is also super nice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's important to feel warm,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not just like, like the sun is out today. So, a thing about the sun for me, it's important that I get to feel it a little bit. So if it means that I can like have sun rays come in the house, it's super nice. Or if I can go outside, go for a run. But when it comes to like settling something inside, the tea is the thing.
Oh my goodness. I use tea for similar things. I like hugs. So I feel like it's a hug on the inside, but it
Mm-hmm.
also warms me up because I tend to be cold. But it's calming, it's relaxing, it's rejuvenating, it's giving
Mm-hmm.
me some spice in my life with the chai lattes.
Yeah,
You can get
actually,
spunky with it, you can get sexy with it. You can do whatever you want with tea, really.
it's so funny that you
But
mentioned the
so,
chai latte.
how come? What?
Well, because like um, I'm a big coffee person too. I
Mm,
love coffee.
yeah.
And that it wasn't like that a couple of years ago, but in 2017 I went on this solo trip. I went to
Uh-huh.
Berlin. It was right after our breakups. I was like, I need this. And at the time, I was sitting at this cafe and I saw this chai latte. And I was like, what's that? And then I had it. And I
Yeah.
don't know how, but I think it's because it was latte that it kind of like opened my taste buds to coffee. And
Okay.
since then I've had coffee. Like like I need it. And
Oh my goodness.
I specifically you can like win me over with a good cappuccino with oat milk, like
Mm.
oh, extra foamy, and then then you got that tea thing going on. And for me, I love me a good ginger tea, like with fresh slices of ginger,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
mint tea is also the thing. You know, recently I kind of discovered green tea with 2 scoops of coffee. That doesn't sound really great,
I heard about
but
that yesterday. And
it's
I was
kind of
like,
like
wait,
for
what?
purging.
The first time I heard about it yesterday, I went to this I went to this cafe and I heard about that. And I was like, when you combine both. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you ask for a chai latte. I can give you with like a scoop of coffee in there too, and it's really good. I'm like, no on the coffee, but that is a really cool idea. I never knew.
It's I
But
think,
yeah,
you know,
but
it
talking about all of that, right? Talking about all of that, I'm hearing a whole bunch of good stuff. What are you grateful for? It could be now, this week, today. It could be like the the last period of your life, the new chapter after you've had your chai latte that opened up your life to a whole new world.
I think this week I'm happy for I'd say this week I'm grateful for realizations, positive realizations that you're like, okay, no, this has been set up well enough, to now see results. If I talk about work, for example, sometimes
Hmm.
I don't always get to the goal of a class, but then I have like this self-reflection moment of like, oh no, but I did do that already, so you can't continue on with something new, and then you're like, ah, my future me is thanking my past me for setting up such a thing in in a good enough time management that I was able to still make up for it.
That is nice. I love that. A good revelation.
Revelization, hell yeah,
Revelation of
revelization.
like, hey, there's this trendy TikTok slash Reels song going, girl, you're doing a good job, girl, you're doing a good job. You know that one?
No, I don't. And I'm actually quite a lot on TikTok. I haven't heard it.
Aha. Well,
Oh,
yeah. There's this one. I tend to look at like motivational stuff for it in the morning, so Instagram already knows, so it sends me all of these reels and stuff like that. Sometimes I just go through a couple, and the one that stuck by me is like, girl, you're doing a good job, girl, you're doing a good job. And that is the whole thing, and the person, it loops for like 15 seconds, and people make their own TikToks and reels to it, and I'm like,
love it.
now the basically the last couple of weeks I've just been, girl, you're doing a good job. It's
You're doing a good
like,
job.
yeah. So that is what I am grateful for, is like, despite the ups and downs of life, because I'm grateful to be back, to be getting my voice back,
You were
which
sick
was
for some
really,
time.
that was a really intense, past 2 months, I must say. So I'm
Yeah.
really, really grateful for just having taking things in stride, but also predominantly for getting my voice back so I can do things like this again. That's what
Oh,
I'm really grateful for.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you so much. I saw a request to join live. Jenny from the Caribbean. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go with it because I did say you can pop in. 4 people max because that's all Instagram allows.
Mhm.
So we'll just see if Jenny from the Caribbean is wanting to join in.
Hello.
Hello. You are right on time. How are you doing,
Oh,
girl?
hi.
Hi
Hello.
there. You know which part we are at the moment for the live? We're at saying what our gratitude moment of the week is. What is your gratitude moment of the week?
My gratitude moment
Yes.
is I'm outside, so I'm gonna go in the bus. I'm gonna tell you just now.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Traveling.
My gratitude moment will be yeah, I think it's just to know that there's people who are actually looking out for me.
That is a good one. Love it.
Yes. Oops.
Community is super duper
Beautiful.
important.
Yeah.
Community is super duper important, and that is what I must say, I am also grateful for my drinking tea with V community here on Instagram. You guys are super positive, even looking out for your girl and be like, hey V, we haven't seen you, what is up, what is going on, making sure you're okay, making sure you're all right. And I must say that warmed my heart. That warmed my heart. But yes, we are now getting into the topic of the week. And by the way, this is Eva Croes, our guest for today. And before we do all of that, you just wanted to pop in and say hi before we go over into the topic of the week?
Yes.
Okay, then. Well, if anything, you can always send your request again and then to give your 2 cents. Okay?
Okay, I will.
I'll let Eva introduce herself and
Bye.
then we'll
God bless.
go on.
Okay.
Alrighty. Let me see.
How do I do this?
Yeah, you X yourself, but then okay, she managed it before I did. I'm like, yes, I'm going. But anyway, so Eva, do introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, what you do,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and then we'll get into the topic of the week, which
Yeah.
is all your curves and all your edges.
Well, I'm Eva. Eva,
Yes.
Eva Croes. I was born and raised on Aruba. Um, I have various roots in me, if I can say that. It goes a little bit towards Corso,
Mm-hmm.
Latin America, and so on. Our family is a very big multi-culti family. Um, what else can I say? I'm a professional dancer, teacher, and choreographer. My
Mm-hmm.
major is dancing, if I can say that. But I do a lot. I really do a lot. Like just like Valen hosts her show Drinking Tea with V.
Mm-hmm.
I also host my own called What's the Tea. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite similar. And Valen was a guest on my show once. So I do that.
I,
I host.
I I have no idea who this Valen is.
You don't? Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm just
Well,
kidding.
I
Just kidding.
invited V to be a guest on What's the Tea. So I host
For
my own.
those who did not catch on, that is actually my actual name. V
Oh,
is my nickname. So if you did
I
not
have
know,
a, yeah.
Valen is my name. Yeah.
I have a thing that I tend to call people like by their name. I have a friend, everybody calls her Maggie, but I call her Megan, so it's just a thing.
Yeah,
Um,
it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
well, I do
It
that, so
is
I host
it.
I host my own show called What's the Tea. I did that on IGTV. Though this year I haven't started yet, but that's because I have other plans with it. So I'm really taking those steps now. I also
Yeah.
co-host a podcast along with my friend Gianna Goedhoop. Our podcast is called Be Right Back, or Vibing in Papiamento.
Mm-hmm.
That is basically a podcast that is about the culture of coming and going from and to the Caribbean when you live abroad. Um, what else do I do? I'm part of an organization called Canovas de Caribe. Shari, Ila, and we organize events, and we organize events that we aim to bring the cultures of the ABC SSS islands together,
Mm-hmm.
and empower each other. What else? I am currently organizing a dance festival on Aruba. I'm trying to very much, innovate a little bit the dance scenario back home. So I'm pretty much involved in the educational parts of it, but as well as the artistic and development part of it, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
What else do I do?
Oh, nice.
I do a lot.
No.
I teach ballet, and I mentor the first years of the MBO Dance Academy at Rosé College Zuid. So
Mm-hmm.
these are first years dance student MBO level, because you also have HBO level.
Yeah.
And basically I teach them ballet, first grades ballet, and I'm their mentor. So I have like 31 kids under me, which is a big group of people.
All of the babies. All of
All of
the
them,
babies.
all of them, every single one, every. But yeah, it's a big group. What else do I do? And I mean, all in all, I love to travel. That's a big passion of mine, and I love to bring people together. I love community work. I love to talk. I love to talk a lot. I love
That's
to.
why we have you here.
Well, yeah, I love to talk. Though my energy is on the low side today, but I do have a lot that we can talk about for sure. But I do a lot of stuff on this
Mm-hmm.
side, but I try to keep myself as creative and uh, as actively creative as possible, because I love to do it, and it's a big community, and I don't
There's
know.
a lot
Yeah,
of love to give from
yeah,
Eva.
there is, and I
No, I
must
have
say,
to
I
wait.
I
Do
come
you
from
go
Aruba,
by
so
Eva or do you go by Eva? Because that is important.
yeah, I go by Eva, Eva, um,
All the
Eva. So,
versions
yeah, all of them. I just say Eva. It doesn't really
of
matter.
Eva.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's important.
And
I think it's important because I also have a name that is not too very common, and for coming from a non-Dutch, having a non-Dutch name in a
yeah,
Dutch country, which means
yeah,
something totally different.
yeah,
It's like my name is bastardized all the time. Like
yeah.
it's just Valen. I know, but here
I
is
like your name.
it's it means something totally different. It means to fall, which is
But yeah,
actually opposite.
there's something, I don't know, there's something pretty sharp about it, Valen. I think, I
Valen.
don't know, it's got
Give it
something.
that too.
Yeah, it's got something very sexy to it. Like, I love it. I
Oh,
think it's, no, but for real, I do think it's a beautiful name. You know,
oh, thank you. Thank you.
um,
Thank you.
you know,
Well, I'm
I
glad
don't
you
know how
think it's
many.
sexy because it's derived from Valentine's. So I think Valentine is really, really sexy. And so it's really odd to know what your conception day is. And so I
Oh
think that
no.
was a really sexy moment for my parents. And that's why I have this name.
But how many names do you have? Like, traditionally, I have three, and that has a lot to do with, like, that Latin American background in my family. You
Okay.
give out the three names. I have three,
Okay.
and they're
I know
all
because it's
religious.
usually like la 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 la. That is my name.
Oh my goodness. No, but for real. And
But
I think especially if you're like Aboriginal, then you really have like really
my
long
name.
names.
The one
And
name is long.
yeah, exactly. No. Okay, no, but good to know. I was just wondering.
Okay. But so let's get into the topic of the week
Let's get
because
to
we've
it.
had our gratitude moment of we had a flavor of the day. We
Mhm.
had our gratitude moment of the week or the
Yep.
period, whatever, because we haven't been here for a while. So hey.
Mm.
And now we're going to get into the topic of today, because the series that we're busy doing right now is Desire Your Life. And that also came from a very sexy place, a very sensual, loving month of February that is now prolonged to to April,
Mm-hmm.
months later. But I think love is love, and love is very timeless. And I feel like the best thing that we can do is, instead of only looking out at what we can get, what we can achieve, what we can, all of these things, is to really look in and really desire our own life, and really move from a place of like groundedness, a
Yep.
place of love, a place of just a fountain of energy, really. And that's why I had different topics, and this one is all your curves and edges.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about just hearing, what comes to mind? What comes to mind when you hear all your curves and edges?
It really makes me think about so I really live by this method called kintsugi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that when something breaks, it doesn't per se mean that it has cracks, but that when you put it together, you put it together with gold and it becomes something more beautiful and more valuable. And when I hear all your curves and edges,
Mm-hmm.
I think of loving yourself wholly, you know, fully, and all of it, all your curves and all of your edges. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a connotation that you understand, but that's all your curves and
Yeah.
all your edges. Yeah, we all our bodies have all of them curves, all of those edges, and it's ours. And our body shape as we continue to live, and it's what houses us, you know. So you have to learn to love it. Yeah.
Definitely. And I've been on a really long self-love journey for actively, actively since, ooh, let me see, actively since like 2008, 2009.
Right.
So it's really something that is ingrained into my awareness, and I really focus on it, and I always check in and tap in to see like, hey, am I really, really, really
Mm.
loving myself? Am I really, by the things that I do, does everything line up? Does my agenda looks like I love myself?
Right.
The schedule for the week looks like I love myself?
Yeah.
So it's a continuous journey. It never ends. It's ever
Right.
developing, and I'm learning to find out a lot more things about myself that way. Go on adventures, just life and the
Yep.
choices that I make. So
No, no, that's
yeah.
beautiful.
So I
I think
love your kintsugi, that you have that as your base for life, because
I
I thought
mean,
it's Japanese, right? If I'm not
it's a
mistaken,
Japanese, yeah, it's a
it's
Japanese art
Japanese, right?
form.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. No,
Yes,
I
I've seen that. I've seen that in a lot of of women empowering um,
Mhm.
uh, content. So I'm like, yes, I didn't remember what the name was, but now you brought it to me, and I'm like, I loved it. I really, really love that concept, because sometimes things are not only curves, it's not only smooth, it's not only round.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have edges to you, and we should appreciate the curves, but also the sharp edges,
Absolutely.
and to know that they are both a part of who we are, and a part of our existence, and
Yeah,
one doesn't come without the other. So that's
exactly.
why some people think I'm all love and light only. I'm mostly love and light, but I do have those sharp edges too.
Yeah. No, of course, of course.
So I feel like loving myself is loving all of it.
Exactly.
And anybody I
Completely.
welcome into loving me has to love all of it too, or else it's the
Mm.
boot.
Tell them
Yes.
exactly that.
So talking about self-love, right? A lot of people say that, but what does it mean for you? How do you go about your self-love journey? Are you on a self-love journey?
Um, I mean,
Or would you coin it to be like, or do you think it's a cliche term?
no, I don't think it's a cliche term at all.
Mm,
Um, I don't think it's a cliche term because I feel like I do feel that it's something that we didn't learn at such a young age, you know, and I feel that those are things that could actually just be implemented in our everyday lives already from a young age on, you know, on how you could really make time for you, and so you can work on yourself, because you can't be only working and working and working, you know, in the most capitalist form possible. Then if we may,
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure you have bread on the table and that you're providing something to a country or to the economy or whatever it is that you work into. I don't feel that exhaustion should be glorified. And that's exactly what it is being done lately. Hell, you even get promoted. Hey, you work hard, you're gonna work even harder. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, I think there's definitely something to be said about not just making time for yourself, but actually making sure that you do make and practice time for yourself. Um, and I think it starts with the simplest of things, you know, going to bed on time, you know, make sure you have a proper meal in your stomach, making sure that um, you implement some meditation time. Everybody's very different in that sense. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm on a self-love journey, well, I think it all depends. If you have to ask first, if I even knew what self-love was to begin with, you know,
Ah,
what
let's
is that?
start there. So, when was the first time that you became aware of, like, okay, I am Ava, this is me. I really need to start falling in love with me to be in a better place.
I'd say it when I was studying.
Mm,
When I was at the academy, as I said before, I'm a professional dancer, and
mm-hmm,
before you get your paper, you have to go through quite a trajectory, an academic trajectory. So I was studying at the time, and I was on my second year.
mm-hmm.
Still pretty much nostalgic for home, and still trying to, you know, find ways within, you know, the Dutch system. But I think in my second year, I kind of really had a low point that I started to notice that there was just, let's just say, certain factors just weren't aligned anymore. And that had an effect on how I was doing at school. So you could really see in my dancing, it wasn't what it used to be. It was lacking. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like you have to see it as like a language. If you don't practice it enough, eventually you don't speak it as well as you used to.
Yeah,
And in my second year, I really noticed that just certain things weren't aligned, you know, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically,
yeah.
to the point where I really was like, I need to talk to somebody. You know, I need help, because
Mm-hmm.
if I don't do something about it now, I don't know if I can handle 2 or 3, possibly 3 more years of school,
Yeah.
which was already pretty physically demanding. Um, so it was through my love for what I do is when I realized that even though I might love dance as much as I used to, dance exhausts me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I always say, you know, dance has helped me in many ways, but it has broken my heart in more ways than one. And I think it was really at that point in my second year that I said to myself, like, oh my God, you know, I'm going through a trauma without knowing that I'm going through a trauma. And now nothing is aligned anymore. So I need help. And it
Mm-hmm.
was when I really went into conversation with the psychologist, who is still my psychologist today. God bless her.
Can I say something?
Of course.
In between, can I interject? I am super proud of you for even being aware of and looking for help.
Mhm.
You know, and I mean, help can come in so many forms. I know it's very cathartic for me to talk to my friends, and I have a group of people that I can really get into the deep nitty gritty with as well. So beyond the curves and more on the
Well,
edges. Uh, so yeah, and when I feel like I'm on the edge of life, but I am really, really, really proud of you for taking those steps to look for to seek professional help in the area of, like, okay, I this is what I love, and I feel like this can be a thing for a lot of people looking. I love this. but do I love me as well enough to balance out everything? So what was your, okay, so you looked for you searched for a therapist, you got in contact with, how did you go about that actually? Just as a practical
I
thing for people who are like, okay, I hear about
mm,
people having therapy all the time, but how do I go about this, especially here in
yeah.
the Netherlands?
With me, well, at school it's a little easy. Yeah, I can't say it's easier. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be throwing some Dutch words in there, but they verwijs you, to like
Yeah,
the school psychologist,
they'll
which takes,
reference you to
sorry?
reference, yeah.
Yeah.
They,
So
they will reference you to
the
a
people,
person.
like let's say your teacher or your mentor or your studiebegeleider is the one who's going to be referring you to the school psychologist. Well, first
Mm-hmm.
you go to like the zorgcoördinator, you have a conversation with the zorgcoördinator. The zorgcoördinator is going to be like, okay, you really want to go to the psychologist, we can refer you to the psychologist. However, I gotta say that the school psychologist and I didn't really have a click.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that I couldn't really get help in the same place that I was actually um, having my, you know, things going on. So
Yeah.
I had written a whole testimony as to why I would really like to be referred to a psychologist outside of school, especially because at the time my insurance was already able to pay it. It took about 8 weeks, but I found her. And as I said, she's still my psychologist today. So God bless her. Because no, but for real, because as I said, I was in another live session before this one, and we were talking about that if you love to dance and if you love what you do and you really want to make a career out of something so physically demanding, you
Mm-hmm.
have to love it so much. You have to love it with your entire being, and you have to really sometimes put some things aside. And that's already where you start to notice like, this is not it, so we need to start all over again. How are we going to be able to do this, balancing you as a human being, with all the love
Yeah.
and the emotions, all the things, all the curves and all the edges that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and how are you going to be able to take care of yourself while also just practicing the thing that you need to make your bread with. So it took me a while. It took me a couple of months to really get into it, but it was what came after that surprised me the most. um,
Yes.
I when I started at school, you can't imagine this, but when I started at school, I didn't look a thing like this. I had straight hair. I had straight hair. I was super, super skinny, but like really unhealthy skinny so it wasn't very okay. Um,
Okay.
I just, I don't know. But then after, when I graduated, I felt like I had found myself again or something. I came out with my curls again. I was much more vocal. I could express myself better. I really thought I was like a force to be reckoned with, because I always felt like at school I wasn't really seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so it had been a whole adventure as to discovering what is the root of my problem. Why is it that I feel the way that I felt at the time?
Yeah.
And then as to like also owning the fact that you know uh you made it, you're here, you graduated, you got your paper, you're here, now you can do whatever you want. I think that was the big win for me. I was on a personal level, that
Yeah.
school really did everything it had to do to me,
So I feel
through
like
me and to me.
so I'm hearing you speak and I'm just going inside. I'm like, girl, yes. Yes, girl, yes. And I feel like what I'm hearing from you and what I'm also resonating with is the fact that life sometimes, the things you go through in life, and of course, like I'm gonna refer to the curves as all of the smooth and nice stuff, and the edges as the rough ones. Those edges, those schuurpapieren is what I literally call them. That was also in one of my speeches that I had. Um, that I talking about graduation. That just brought me back in that place, and I definitely said I'm happy um, for the people who love on me, but I'm also happy for the people who are the schuurpapieren in my life. And I'm happy for the situations that are schuurpapier, sandpaper, yes. I'm happy for the sandpapers in my life, the supporters, but also the sandpapers in my life.
Yep.
And those things sometimes are the hardest to go through, the roughest. It's not cute, but it
No.
polishes you into loving yourself more, being able
Yep.
to be stronger in who you are, more grounded in who you are. And from there, the process is not cute.
No, it's not
But the
supposed to be
outcome,
cute
though.
either.
everything is not only growing and glowing. They forget the growing part comes with growing pains
Growing
oftentimes.
pains. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So people only
But
look
I
at the growing and the glowing, but yeah.
Well, I mean, they always say everybody sees the end result. Nobody ever sees the work put behind it,
The process.
Yeah. And they always say the process is way more important than the result. And it truly is, because if everything happens to go really well for you, that's amazing. But do you learn something on the way? I'm not sure, They always say that success always comes with so many failures. And I really believe that. I really believe that. If you're in a situation where you're constantly confronted with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
then who else are you going to who else is going to fix you? Who else is going to love you? Who else is going to take care of you? So it's just you,
Yes.
yourself, and you. And you're going to have to love yourself so much to a point where you're willing to take yourself out of whether it's a very deep pit, that you happen to be in your life, or a toxic situation, or, a toxic friendship, a toxic relationship, a toxic household, whatever. Not to say that I had any of that in my life, by the way. I'm very loving home. I have good friends, etc. I've cut some of them, yes. But now, today, we are in a good position. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it always so funny how these things have to come after. You have to learn these things afterwards, when you've gone through them. Then they give you the signs in the beginning, but you're always like this. And then during the whole thing, you're kind of like, okay, what's going on? And then it's too late by then. You're so sucked in. Now you have to find the courage and the force and the strength to pull yourself out. And that's where the lessons really come in.
And sometimes I feel like it's not only pulling yourself out, but pulling yourself through. Because
True.
in a cancel culture that we live in currently, I feel like a lot of people are so ready to cut off people instead of building and working on relationships. So in that sense, it's a matter of, yes, you're going to rub each other the wrong way, and yes, not every day is going to be peaches and cream. But if you really care about the people around you, and they're not only having a negative impact on your life, you work through your issues, you talk about things. You don't just cut people off. So I just wanted, sometimes in toxic situations, listen, walk away, run away if you have to, okay? But I'm saying in a day-to-day, in the cancel culture that we live in, I feel like it's people take a more easier route than to just be like, oh, I'm not talking to so-and-so anymore. They annoyed me. They irritated me. They said something I didn't like, or so I just wanted to add that to aspect to it. But I love the fact that you also recognize that you do have people around you who love and care about you, because even when we're talking about things that are a bit heavier, sometimes we get into this place where it's like nobody cares. There isn't anybody who loves me. And then from there I feel like people internalize that and then go like, okay, so there's nobody who loves and cares, so why do I need to even put the effort forward for myself?
Yeah, I think it's a process.
So
It's a process. I think at every stage of our lives, some people will continue to be there and some won't. You have people for a certain stage of your life, a period of your life. They always say
you're being in that period of your life as well,
Yeah,
just
that's something
for whatever I wanted to say bijdragen.
Yeah, no, but that's the truth. Added
the
value.
whatever they
Yeah.
brought to your life, whatever it may be, whether it be good or something good, or a laugh or a lesson, I want
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
whether it's a laugh or a lesson, just be grateful for either one. But coming back to you as being a dancer,
Mhm.
you have to be very aware of your body, and you have to, your body is your tool, your body is your everything. So how do you, yes, what they contributed to your life. Thank you, Ivan. I was there. The bilingual or multilingual brain sometimes, gets an error, but thank you so much
Exactly.
for what they contributed to your life. So as a dancer, how was your self-love journey with your body throughout your life? Let's start at the beginning, and then you can say where you are now.
Okay. Well, I was, well, as a child I was always a little what they call chubby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Eventually I really grew into my body because I'm a pretty tall person. I'm about 5'10",
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty tall for a girl, especially if you're from Aruba. Um, as a child I was always chubby. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I love food. I've always loved food. Anyway, and then ooh, let me think. I'd say when I started to take dance a little bit more seriously, then things started to get a little bit downhill. Then things went a little bit downhill because um, I had this image of what a dancer should look like, and then I referred to like those really skinny ballerinas, who are
Mm-hmm.
very much underweight and just they don't look healthy at all. But yeah, that's back then, and I think now the dance world has changed a lot. But I'd say about when I was 16, 17, maybe 18 as well, I'd say things weren't physically, I didn't look very healthy. Let's put it like that. I had lost a lot of weight then. Um, and simply because I felt like this is how I had to look like and able to have a successful career.
Okay, so were you doing like dieting? Were you
Yeah, but
not eating?
to the extreme, like
Okay.
it didn't, yeah, no, I dieting. I'd say a diet requires you to eat food, and I wouldn't do that. So, so
Okay.
there was really like a really something up, and
Mm-hmm.
something psychological there. And after some time that got better. I moved here when I was 21,
Yeah.
and here in the Netherlands, as far as I know, at least not in our department, in the educational department, they never really put emphasis on weight loss and how you were supposed to look like. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, you live in the Caribbean, and so you're used to a certain type of culinary food. Um, and then coming here, everything is on butter and on cheese and bread and
And the
halala.
fries,
So,
the pataches, the French
yeah, oh
fries.
God,
That is
oh my God.
life.
So
And the
Afinal,
picandel.
I got here, and I'd say the first year I really went ham on the food. It was so good, so good. Like just thinking about it, I already think like, oh my God, it's such good food. But simply because it's food that you wouldn't get as often on Aruba, at the time. Because I think now Aruba has gotten quite a few Dutch supermarkets, so you do find Dutch products over there quite more easily than back then.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, it was very normal for me to have like a croissant in the morning with extra cheese and take it on the way to school and have candy. And I kind of let go of that whole food disciplinary thing because I felt like I had already restrained myself from so much when I was back home, trying to like bring myself up to like a certain image.
Mm-hmm.
um but then in my second year, I was kind of like, no, no, no. Okay, no, things are getting a little heavy. I started to notice it during my performance that I just couldn't do certain movements as smoothly and as centered and controlled as I could. So I was like, okay, let's get a little bit into the fitness.
Yeah.
And honestly, that changed a lot of perspective on my physical health, because then I noticed that you can eat whatever as long as that you're actively also just burning it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, of course, nutrition is way more complicated than what I'm saying now, but let's just
Exactly.
say if if you eat well, if you eat healthy, it's okay. And
Just
I would,
balance. I would say
yeah,
balance.
you know,
Because
use it.
what I hear you talking about is the fact that what I also see in a lot of people, um, the restriction causes them to plummet to the other side
Yep.
of the spectrum, where it's like, no, I have restricted my life way too, and this is not only food, huh? We're not only talking about food, but in whatever
Hmm.
area of life it is.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about food now, and it's at a given point, it's like I feel like they get into this, I don't want to do this anymore. It's
Hmm.
horrible. It's terrible. It's not about what I can have and what I can do, and moving
No.
from a place of love and really loving yourself to be like, okay, I love my body, so I want to put in the good stuff in it, and this is good, and I have an option for this, and I can eat this, and I can. But I feel like with dieting is usually um, that's why I don't like dieting. I feel like
Hmm.
you choose a certain lifestyle,
Yeah.
and when you
Yeah.
love yourself, and you choose foods that are working good for your body, then that is also a part of your self-love journey.
Absolutely. And I mean,
Yeah.
whatever goes in comes out, you know? So,
Hmm.
um,
Whether it's with your physical appearance or your mood, because food changes your mood as well.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would say in the second year, well, not in my second year, well, that was a bit combined with like also just, you know, going to the psychologist and stuff like that. I just wanted to eat a little better just so that could like contribute a little bit more to my mental health as well. So then
Uh-huh.
I went a little bit into the whole fitness thing. I learned a little bit about nutrition and yeah, something happened. Then I got like a boost, you know. I was at the same time getting some tools from the psychologist, but at the same time I was also just learning a little bit more about my body. Um, you know, on how to like just be as a dancer more healthy, what you put in your body. Um, then I had lost some weight, but I had toned really well. So as I was looking quite okay, I was actually very content with how I looked. I was like, whoa, you know, I can't believe
Hmm.
that I did this, you know. Your body can actually change so much, you know. Um,
Yeah.
and it was not that I wasn't happy with how I looked, but I really wanted to do it for that performance factor, you know.
Okay.
Uh, but then, and now yeah, I don't know if I should share this, but here we go. Um,
Ah.
I,
Someone said, I love y'all energy. Continue to be great. Thank you, Red 80s, 87, 85. Thank you so much.
thank you. Okay, so look, I,
Hmm.
we, I want to say we come from a community of people who will say very directly to your face when they see changes on your body.
Oh
And it
yeah,
has,
that's a common greeting,
and
huh?
that's a very, it has become something so common and something so
Yeah.
general that I really do have to pay attention sometimes because I'm heading to Aruba in a few days. Do you think that I'm restricting myself from food? Take a guess. Yes or no?
The answer is no for 100.
The answer is yes, because the first thing I'm gonna
Yes?
hear when they open the car door and they see me is like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
oh, 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 and I'm just like, oh, do you have something to say? You know, so
Excuse me,
and
sorry.
no, but for real, and that really does something to your self confidence and your self image. You know, how I think like, do I have to look a certain way for you to accept me? You
Mm,
know, so that's at the relation that I personally have with my body now is that I'm quite content with how I look. I feel that my performance very much really depends on the health of my body, and
uh-huh.
I'm a very mindful eater at this moment. That I
Okay.
just pay attention to what I put in my body. I work out. I love to jog. I love to dance. So that's all good. A lot of water, um, you know, a lot of protein and all of that. But it swings a little bit. I hate to
Mhm.
admit it, but it really does swing a little bit.
We're human.
We're
We go
human,
through cycles.
but it swings. And the fact that it swings gives me like
Yeah.
a feeling. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
It's a
The,
process.
the good thing is that you swing back.
I do.
You don't keep your head in one direction. Right?
We
So
do.
in that sense, yeah. So this is all practical information that I feel like is useful and for so many people, because it's like, okay, what is the real the process behind the picture that you see, and the person that you think you know online. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yes. So it's really cool to hear your self-love journey with your curves and edges.
With
And
my
your
curves and
curves,
all my edges.
you I am the curviest I've been in my life at this
Are you?
point in time.
That's good.
And I must say I love it. I love it. And like you said, you know, we come from a community where people greet you and talk about your weight. And like from the get-go, it's like, oh my gosh, you got skinny.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, your face is round. Oh, you got fat. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what the thing is? Let's put it out there. It is never right.
No.
People are gonna say what they want to say either way.
I mean, honestly, it would just be so much easier if everybody would just mind their own business.
Yeah.
Like, I don't go around saying that you gained how that much. I don't go around saying that you lost that much. I don't care how you look like,
I'm like,
you
how
know.
are you doing?
Like, I mean, are you doing your shadow work? Ask me that. Hey, how are
Yeah.
you? You look good. You've been doing your shadow work right now. There. I want us to pop you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes,
I want us
I
to
have.
pop. Yeah, indeed. Because it's the thing of like I was talking to someone, and I realized I didn't even this is just me being me. I was just being me, and I didn't realize that I like to look at people, and I don't like to only look at people, but I like to see people
Yeah.
in the sense of like, okay, you know, like I'm asking you how are you doing, but I'm asking you how are you doing really. It's not
Yeah.
just a question of like the drive by, hey, how you doing, girl? Good. Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah.
bye. But
Yeah.
if I'm
Yeah.
asking you like how are you doing, and it doesn't always have to be great.
Yeah. No, c'est verdad. Completely true.
Your energy doesn't always have to be on 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's about like when I see you, it's like, girl, how you doing? No, not like I don't want the politically correct answer. Like, how are you doing? And let's move from there. You know? Do we need to hug it out? Do we need to cry it out? Do we need to
Absolutely.
have? Do I need to get you espresso? Do I need to just give you a warm cup of tea? Do we need to have some drinks?
Yeah.
What do we need to do? You know?
Indeed. Indeed. Yep. No, you're totally right. Yep.
Yeah. And Ivan says, care that someone looks healthy and happy. That is what matters.
Yeah. True
Definitely.
that.
It's about how someone is on the inside and whatever it is on the outside. Of course, I'm gonna be that friend. If you tell me to hold you accountable, I will.
I'll keep that noted.
Because it's like I with certain friends, they're like, I give you permission to tell me, girl, you're getting a little chunky.
Yeah.
Rein it in. What have you been doing?
Uh-oh. Oh.
But if we don't have that agreement, I'm like, listen, if this is you being you're happy and healthy, and yes, when people tend to get happy, I'm not saying that's the only thing, but sometimes when people get happy and healthy, their healthy does not look stick thin.
Yep. True that.
And for me, for a long time, I was also happy and healthy, but I was stick thin. I was a stick.
Yeah.
So in that sense, at that point in time, people would be like, oh my God, do you eat? Are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm
Fine.
fine. I am doing well. I don't look like I love food, but I
Mm,
love food.
yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
You know what I mean? And so everybody's body is different, and it took me a while to really um I loved myself for my inside, but it took a while for me to be really comfortable with my body
Yeah.
being stick thin. I mean,
Yeah.
I weighed like what 40 between 43 to 45 kilos.
It's not a lot, no.
No, and 45 was like my, yeah, that was my regular, and this was like me being what 18, 19.
Oh my goodness.
So
Yeah.
imagine, so I can imagine how people would be like, you look anorexic.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. It was just my body, my metabolism is really fast. It has slowed down. And I feel like I must say my slowdown is still like I need to have food when I need to have food.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's no bueno. It's not only a mood thing, but I literally don't feel well. So that is also a part of my self-love journey. Just learn to love my body as is in its healthy form. And I was that person who could eat anything and everything and would, and you can't see it on the outside.
Yeah. Wow.
So I went through periods of like, God, please, I just 1 kilo, please.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
please.
I get you. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, you can literally see. Look, you can't see my clavicle bones anymore. I mean, you can still see them, but oh, I'm stripping. But this used to be like, it used to look like that, really.
Yeah.
So, and that was my normal, happy, healthy version of me.
Yeah.
Not
No, I
yet.
get you.
So now, mom, don't take this personally if you're looking at this. But then my mom saw me. We were video talking and stuff like that. She's like, and whatever in certain angles, she's like, your face got fat. I'm like, I'm the heaviest I've been in my whole life. Thank you, and I'm loving it. Is now it's like it's going in the right places, but I would like some other places not to for it not to go there. But
Uh,
that is a journey of further being into fitness to get those
it
things
is.
balanced out, you know?
Absolutely. Yep. No, absolutely.
But yeah, it's hilarious. The fact that
Mm.
our our cultural background and our community just tends to greet you with, hey, you got skinny, hey, you got fat.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. No, definitely.
But so with the body positivity, right? What do you say? Let's go into body positivity. What is your favorite thing about your body? What is it
My
your
favorite
favorite?
thing about my body. Oh,
Yes. And I don't want to hear smile. I want to hear like what is it like your body? I mean your smile is a big thing. I love your smile by the way. Yeah, you smile. And I love that. You don't give the fake smile.
stop.
What?
Um, I think I'm going to go for my waist. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Nice.
like my waist because I feel that that is the most feminine thing I have. And I love being a female. Yeah, I love being a woman. I love the fact that let me just say I can embrace it now. There was a time that I wouldn't embrace it. There was a time that I would wear anything just to cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
And now I kind of feel like, no, I look good. So here you go.
Go in the mirror and be like,
You get to enjoy it as well. So you'll see me something, and that's something that I really taught myself, like to step out of my comfort zone in that sense. Like, come on, Ava, you can wear body tight clothing. It's okay. Chill out about it. Instead of wearing your regular oversized. Still love wearing oversized, by the way. I love that look very much. But now,
mm-hmm.
when a couple of weeks ago, I actually had bought this just for a photo shoot, and at first I was like, body tight. But then I looked at it myself. I was like, Ava, you look good. Wear that thing, girl. So I would say that. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I definitely my waist. I like the shape of it, and
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that it's just well proportioned, and yeah, it's what gives that curve, in the body.
Yes, it does. True, true, true. Let me see. Do I want to answer this question for myself? I don't know. I just I don't tend to have
Answer. Come on.
I do tend to have favorite things, but in the sense of like I love so many things. It's either the thing with me is I'm an all or nothing type of person mostly. So I love it, or it just does not exist. It's not like that I hate it.
Right.
That meat, but then it just isn't part of my mental focus. But I do love my smile. And the favorite thing about my body, I do like my legs.
You like your legs? That's
Yes,
good.
I like my legs. I
That's good.
especially like my legs now that I'm more chunky. I like it.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, I've been working on them. I've been doing squats and all the things, and it's like,
Okay.
yeah, girl, yes.
But what part of your legs?
The whole thing. I just
Okay.
like how legs look.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it can be like very prominent. It can be very light and airy. It can be very curvaceous. And the fact that I like to, okay, so now I'm sitting and having this kind of conversation, but usually in my relaxed time, I'm usually doubled up in a corner in a ball, like, and the fact that I can have my legs like this in a ball, like wrapping around myself, I love that.
Right.
I love it. Feels
Yeah.
very calming and very, I don't know, I like being cozy. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that, yes,
And your legs provide you with that coziness. So yeah.
yeah, it's a part of my cozy feel. So that's why I like
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. Okay. Legs. Yeah.
that.
No, but to be honest, if I have to think about it, if I refer back to dancing, it's the legs. The legs do a lot of the work. When it comes to being a little sexy, you're always showing a little leg.
Exactly.
If you want to be just, I as a girl, I love showing off legs. Yeah, absolutely. I have long legs, so yeah, I'm gonna show them. So I totally get where you come from, and it's the height. I'm a tall person, so and my legs are the longest thing of my body.
Mm,
Um, you know so it defines a lot. Your legs can define a lot for you, so I do understand where you're coming from.
exactly. So this is, yeah,
Yeah.
just in the body positivity space.
No, for real, I
Yeah,
totally get you.
I feel like everybody should take a moment and be like, on just, you don't have to have a favorite thing, but just love on each and every single part of your body.
Exactly. It
Be
definitely.
grateful for it. Love the fact
Yeah.
that it's there, even though it's not exactly how you would like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Komt goed. Don't focus on that right now.
Komt
Just
goed.
love your arms, even if it has a little flab here. Give it a kiss. Mwah. I love you for being there, for being supporting me and keeping me, nice, tight, and warm.
Jeez.
Hey,
Yeah.
whatever it is, but really, it sounds like a lot. I feel like for a lot of us, it might sound like a lot of whoopla and woo woo. And the thing is, when you actually take the time to do that, stand in the mirror, butt naked, have a look at yourself. Do you know what you look like? And even as a woman, have you taken, I'm going to push it, TMI, I'm going to take it there. But take a mirror, look at what you look like, know who you are, every aspect of yourself. So nobody can come and tell you anything.
I
I feel like that
mean,
is also a process of loving yourself.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is no place on, like, off limits. There is no place for you to know you and love you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
yeah.
I
So
hear you. Yeah.
just take the
I
time.
gotta. I don't know. I gotta say that um, I've learned to do that
Mm-hmm.
through dance. I didn't do it before dance. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's so funny because I think, like as I said, it was really at the end that I really found myself as a person. That
Mm,
person was very much interested in learning to love herself. You know what I mean? Not the one
yeah,
before.
you
So
were.
if I hear you talk about it, I think
Yeah,
like, wow, I wonder, that must have been something, knowing how to do that so early on already. And that's what I told you. It was really at the end or during that I was like, yeah, no, I'm interested in loving myself because I didn't do that before. I kind of let things just flow. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Learning to love your legs and learning to love your waist, learning how a dress could actually look really nice on you and all that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
It's something else.
Sorry?
I think it's something else, you know, how you learn that.
It is. It is. It's easier for us to give compliments to other people than it is for us to
Mm-hmm.
give compliments to
Yeah.
ourselves. And so
Yeah.
I also within my self-growth and working on having not showy confidence, but confidence because I love me
Yep.
and because I know
Knowing what you
me
bring to the table.
and what I bring to the table and who I am, it is definitely it has been the one of the biggest cornerstones of of that.
Yeah.
And the more I invest in it, and I would love to urge people to just take time to love you. Okay, even if you're, it doesn't matter if you're single, if you're in a relationship, always make time to love you, because when you love you and you pour into yourself, the overflow for other people is so much more. You are a better person to other people
Yeah.
when you love you.
Yep. True that. Absolutely.
And coming from a place of being a people pleaser, long,
Yeah.
long, long time ago, and have transitioned and stayed on the other side,
Yeah.
I have become aware of how important that is, and
Mm-hmm.
to life in general, and the choices that I've made for myself. So,
Mm-hmm. True.
what do you feel like is the best choice you made for yourself and for your body?
To listen to it. To listen to it. Everything it needs. Everything it begs for.
Mm-hmm.
Everything it loves. Everything it hates. And I hate
Girl, that was deep.
this. No, but yeah,
That
listening.
was
You
that.
need to be
This is
very connected to yourself for you to also realize that your body gives you signs, many of it every single second of the day. So especially
mm-hmm.
now, you know, I feel good, I'm having a conversation with you. The mere fact that you're
Yeah,
aware of that, that is already okay. So
yeah.
I'd say that listening to it. It sings, it pains, it feels good, it has
Mm-hmm.
orgasms, it has cramps, it has
Mm-hmm.
it has everything. It's the thing that talks to you the
Exactly.
most. So you have to listen.
That is, whoa. Let's take a moment for this because no, but being really aware of yourself and being in tune
Mhm.
with your body is, I've I've um I've come to realize that we take that for granted.
Yep.
And I say we, also me, even though I'm a person who is very aware of my body and the feelings that I'm having, sometimes I can literally take it and put it in a box and just put it in a box on the side and continue to go
Mhm.
regardless
Yeah.
of the signs that I'm getting, you know? So yeah, the listening part is
Hmm.
huge. It's
Absolutely.
something so simple, but something so monumental, I must say,
And necessary.
and necessary.
Is very
Very
necessary.
vital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Extremely. Well.
definitely. This one caught me like it yes. Yes, yes, yes. And to be honest, I had a conversation recently, and with the whole aspect of with the issue with my voice and losing my voice and why it took so long to come back. And really, I felt like this was God telling me to just, hey, the universe telling me, sit down, listen.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's I've been in a position where I've had to do a lot of talking, but actually listen, not only listen to others, but listen to myself.
Yep.
Listen to my body and the fact that I'm a very ambitious person, and talking about taking and putting emotions, feelings, and signs my body is giving me in a box and be like, go, 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 regardless.
Hmm.
I felt like this was a point in time where, especially, I'm like, but I have so many things pending. And I literally had to sit in silence most of the day.
Yeah.
And so most of my communication would be via emails, texts, but just scale it back a bit. So I'm like, okay, what is this coming to teach me?
Hmm.
that it was the biggest question. I don't know all of it. I don't know what all this came to teach me, but I do recognize lessons that I've had before that I've ignored, and that I feel like this is a warning, like, okay, of course, with ambition, aiming for the highest, get the most out of yourself, listen to yourself, listen
Yeah.
to your body, and move from there.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
totally
in
agree with you.
the, yeah, thank you so much. But that's why when you said that, it hit home. It definitely hit home. But just to round things off, because it's time flies when you're having fun. And it's always fun with Eva. And so for the past 2 years, right, the world has been a crazy place, to say the least. And so how have you been coping with that? And what are practical things that you can share with others to be able to, get into their body, feel their body, and just it's been stressful. It's been a stressful time. How can we just focus on getting into our bodies and out of our heads and just feeling good?
Honestly, I gotta say, the pandemic really knocked me off my game. It really had forced me to discover other things that I enjoy doing that are also just really good for my well-being. One
Mm.
of them is running. I really enjoy a good jog.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't enjoy doing it. I mean, I love doing it outside, but the weather has to be a bit more cooperative. So, if I'm not doing it outside, then I'm probably just doing it on the treadmill inside.
yeah.
It's just a zone I tend to get into. It's not the same zone I get into when I dance, but it's a zone
Okay.
that I get into that definitely lets me blow off some steam. Um, but I think for everybody who's just looking for something, to just keep yourself, physically active or just physically lean, is
Yeah.
stretching. Stretching is like something that I really enjoy doing, not just with my students, but just also just at home, just a very simple rolling down with the head and just letting your torso just hang there for a moment, getting rid of
Mhm.
all that yeah, all
The
those
heaviness.
positions that you have been sleeping in, for quite some time, and you're not aware when you're sleeping. So you're really putting your body into certain positions that you're not aware of, that gives your muscles that extra tension. So it's just really nice to give your body that stretch in the morning, and really nice, of course, if you just do it before bedtime. Some people love to do yoga, which is also super nice. I'm not a yogi, but I do implement a lot of yoga things into my classes, so that's
Hmm.
interesting. Um, Taking a walk does me really well, and if you're somebody who's just looking to start dancing, well, like I said, listen to your body. If you haven't danced before, put on a song that you enjoy and just let it go. Let it go. Let your body talk. Let your body speak to you. Let your body dance. But if you happen to be somebody who's like a beginner's dancer and you're already so much into it and you've had dance classes before, go for a little bit of a freestyle. Just put on a song and just
Just
give
go
your
for it.
body some love. Yeah, just really um give that. For me, that's a form of self-care, that you give your body some love by giving it the space to also just do what it wants to do at that moment. That's also just like listening to your body. What do you want to do? You want to dance? Okay, let's put on a tune.
Let's
you know
dance.
yeah, you want to go for a
Oh
walk?
my
Let's go
goodness.
for a walk. You want to cook? Cooking for me is also a form of self-care.
Mm.
It really is a thing that I feel like a lot of people tend to be like, yeah, that's not something I'm really used to doing. Then I'm like, yeah, but imagine what it would do, you know
Try.
how are you going to feel after? Isn't that nice?
Okay, so I'm the friend. So people don't really think this about me because they feel like I'm serious a lot of the times, but that's further from the truth. Uh,
Mhm.
and so I am that friend. Literally, I've just been in it for the longest. Music just does something to me. And sometimes even if we're just walking around and shopping and I hear something,
Mhm.
hey, it's the time and the place. Let's
That's
go
it.
for it.
Yep, that's it.
Anywhere, anytime, any place. I feel like dancing any place, anytime is, of course, there are places where it's not appropriate, okay? Let's not account for those. But besides that, I would be that friend who would embarrass you if you're easily embarrassed. Yeah. So I definitely say, hey, go for it. If you wanna, with the whole body positivity thing, if you wanna stand
Yep.
in the mirror butt naked and just dance, and
Yep.
just go and just let it go, let it flow, be like, ooh,
Yeah,
baby.
definitely. It just does you really well, and it's just really good for your endorphins, you know. Yeah. I think as I said, the pandemic really challenged me to find other things that I enjoy doing. Um, and I think that we also just have to be able to stay open for that, that if you really do want to start doing things that are better for your well-being, you also just have to be able to open up those vaults in you that have to be open in order for you to be able to make those steps. Because I think there's a thing that you say it, but then there's a thing that you have to do it. And doing it
Mhm.
is the hard part, kind of like if you want to like, I don't know, weight loss is a good example, I suppose. They say it's like 70% nutrition, 30% activity.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's
Find the
hard.
activity that you like. And a big shout out
Exactly.
to Reckless Designs, Mr. LaBega.
No, but for real. And it's like what he says, you got to hit that fuck it button. Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. And just go for it.
Yep.
Just go
Definitely.
for it.
And if you
Yeah.
need a little bit of a Kickstarter, just let me know.
So, you said you weren't doing your online classes anymore, right?
Well, I never was doing any online classes, to be honest.
Oh, you weren't.
No. I
'Cause-
actually I've
oh,
never done online classes before. I do want
but
to,
just
but I will be going on a little tour, I think in June, where I'll be going from city to city and teaching some classes here and there. So if it is something that anyone is interested in, do feel free to sign up. I haven't released anything yet, but it's coming
so
because
then this is
I
the
keep getting the
premiere
question.
here on Drinking Tea with V. Make
Well,
sure that you
I mean,
follow. Make sure that you follow
everybody
Ava
keeps
to make sure that you
asking.
see whenever she releases anything in your city, in your area. Holla
I
at
mean,
Ava.
everybody
Get
keeps
your body
asking, like,
going.
yeah, because I keep getting these requests like, hey, when can I join a class? And to be honest, I don't teach open classes anymore because I work at an academy,
Yeah.
and it's almost full time, and I can't just let anybody in because it's safety of the students. But then I thought like,
Mhm.
how about I just set up something where people could just come, and then not just our people, Caribbean people, but just people in general who just want to take a taste.
Yeah.
So I will be doing that really soon. So yeah, do you should keep my page, in check. But I think it's gonna be around June, July-ish.
Then I should be back because I'm also going to Aruba, but more
Oh,
in
really?
May.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Nice.
are you still gonna be there?
Mm,
I don't know.
I
You can
will
tell
be
me that.
back.
You don't have to give me
Yeah.
the information. Just tell me
Yeah.
that offline.
That'd be good.
Sorry, that just popped up in and I was like, oh, I wonder.
It's
But
no worries.
yeah, I'll let you know when I'm gonna be there if anything.
Sure. That'd be cool.
So fun fact, Eva and I have been vibing online for the longest. We actually have not met
I
in
bet.
person yet. But we
No,
need to
that
make it happen. And how funny
we
would it
will.
be that we
We
reach
will.
all the way to Aruba to see each other there?
Oh my God. Yeah, but you know that has happened many times. I've met people online and then you never see each other and then randomly like, "Oh, you're here too?"
But yeah,
So
the
I
world
totally
is
get.
opening up again, and that is really awesome. So
Yeah.
hey,
No,
who knows?
absolutely. We'll make something happen.
We'll make something happen for sure. But lovely, lovely, lovely Ava, thank you so much for sharing all of these gems. People think that these are things that you think is really, oh, everybody should know this. But do you
Mm.
know this?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
You're
mean?
consciously aware.
Yes, being aware of and actually practicing self-love in all of its glory and all of its forms.
Yep.
It's it's really something that we shouldn't just feel like it's temporary
Exactly. No, absolutely. It's something that you apply every day.
every
It's
single
a
day.
very long journey, but it's a beautiful one. Absolutely.
Definitely. Oh my goodness. You're making me smile again. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But so yes, tell the people what you're going to be up to. You already gave us a sneak peek of what might come and when. So where can
Um,
they find you?
well,
Besides tagging you here on Instagram, you'll definitely be tagged here on this video so the people don't harass me. Y'all don't harass me.
no,
The
no
information will
harassment.
be there. Go over, follow Eva Cruz on her page so you can get all the details. Don't come asking me about people business, okay? Because I be drinking water and minding my business.
Oh, well, what can I say? You can follow me on my page. It's just Eva Cruz XX. That's my Insta. Where can you find me? Honestly, let's just say I've been working very hard on many projects, so everything is slowly coming together.
Mhm.
But definitely stay tuned for some really cool news. There's a collaboration coming up. We're going to be throwing something in June. I can't say exactly what it is just yet, but okay, something is coming in June. Um, you can catch me actually. There's an exhibition right now at Kunstinstituut Mali in Rotterdam.
Oh,
Um, and there's this artwork. You can see me in there. So it's going to be there for like about a month. So if you're very interested in seeing that, it's part of an exhibition called Clip. And it was about like this research that they were doing on movement. And a Namibian artist called Jeanne, um, she exhibiting, and I'm part of her exhibition project, which is super cool. So if it's something anyone is interested in seeing, you can go see it there at Kunstinstituut Mali. What else am I doing? Poof.
I'm
Um,
afraid to ask that because the list is always long.
it's a very long list of things.
Yeah.
I have this festival coming up this year, so that's already so much work, but depending on that, because it's going to be really cool.
Oh,
Um,
like,
and I'll be heading to Aruba real soon. So if anybody on Aruba wants to collaborate or make something creative or, dance, is also totally, I'm open for that. But you can find me, honestly, overal en nergens. To be
this
honest, overal en nergens.
you're a moving butterfly.
I am, and
Yes.
but I'm always open to meeting new people, and I love to work with people, and I'm open to collaborating and just creating something together. So, if that's something that anyone is interested in doing, just hit my DMs. I'm very open,
Yeah.
and I'm
Hey.
down.
For sure. Nay, my I'm just cracking out. This is my Dutch brain kicking in.
All good.
But uh thank you so much for all of your time. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much
the
for coming.
invitation.
Of course. Of course. It's been a long time coming. And I'm so happy that you were flexible enough, especially with the situation with my voice and the going and the
All
coming
right.
and the funerals in between and everything. So I really,
No
really, really love
worries.
and appreciate you for your flexibility in that.
No worries at all. It was
I
very nice for having me.
Yeah, I feel like this is an awesome drinking tea with you episode. I love it. I love it. I will make sure that it's on YouTube as well for those who don't have Instagram that have been bugging me, telling me get more consistent with uploading every single thing on YouTube as well
Hmm.
so I can see it. Yes, I'm going to make sure that this episode is on YouTube as well. Drinking Tea with V across the board for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Uh, yeah, I'm on TikTok as well, but I have not really been as active there. You have to choose your
It's another
platform.
world. Yeah, it's another world.
But who knows? I might get into doing more snippets and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
So hey,
for
stick
sure.
around. And there is going to be something coming up really cool, I think, that you have heard of a little teaser in this episode. I won't tell you what it is, but
Okay.
yeah, something cool is coming. More
Okay,
things are
cool.
cool stuff is coming, but I know of one specific that is short term. So
Okay.
make sure that you guys stick around, and it will be on my Insta for sure and my stories. So I think you guys are gonna love it. But anyways, Eva, thank you so much. Mwah. Um, for those who are looking, be fab, stay fit, and have a fantabulous week. And I can't say see you next week, but we'll see you soon. We're just going
Bye.
with the flow here on Drinking Tea with the getting back in the rhythm. Mwah. Bye.
Bye bye.
Deuces.